18 years ago, I was just like Leonard from The Big Bang Theory, a shy, awkward guy with a crush on a girl I was too afraid to talk to. Every time I saw her, my heart raced, my palms got sweaty, and I'd overthink every word I might say. It felt impossible, like trying to solve quantum physics without a chalkboard. But funny enough, life has a way of making us face our fears, just like Leonard eventually did with Penny. Looking back now, it's crazy to think how much that moment shaped me. Let me tell you the whole story. Welcome to Movie Bites. Today with The Big Bang Theory, cast then and now. First up, we've got Johnny Galecki, aka Leonard Hofstadter. Now, Leonard was that guy who was super smart, but somehow always ended up in the most awkward situations. I mean, he was dating Penny, the hot girl next door, but still couldn't get his life together. Johnny totally nailed it with his role, playing the guy who had the brain of a physicist, but the social skills of a potato. Next up is the sassy girl next door, Penny, played by the amazing Kaley Cuoco. Let's be real, Penny wasn't just the girl next door. She was the hot girl next door. Everyone had a crush on her, from Leonard, obviously, to probably half the audience watching at home. Penny had this way of lighting up the room with her smile, and then casually dropping a one-liner that had everyone cracking up. And then we have the man of the hour, Sheldon Cooper, played by the one and only Jim Parsons. Now Sheldon, where do I even start? This guy was a whole mood. He had his own set of rules, a deep love for anything science-related, and a very specific spot on the couch that no one dared to sit in. And of course, we can't forget his favorite word, bazinga. Moving on, let's talk about the apple of Sheldon's eye, Amy Farrah Fowler, played by the hilarious Mayim Bialik. Now, Amy and Sheldon were like a match made in nerdy heaven. She was just as awkward and into science as he was, but with a softer side that actually made Sheldon, well, human. And then, we have the ladies' man, or at least that's what Howard Wolowitz thought of himself, played by Simon Hellberg. Now, Howard was a unique character. He was the kind of guy who wore tight pants, sported a questionable turtleneck, and thought he was the smoothest thing since sliced bread. In reality, he was more like a nervous, overconfident engineer who was constantly trying to impress women. But hey, somehow he snagged Bernadette, and let's be honest, that was a miracle in itself. Next up, we've got the most gorgeous glasses-wearing woman to ever grace TV, Bernadette. Played by the one and only Melissa Roch, Bernadette was Howard's wife, and let's be real, you couldn't be afraid to steal that gorgeous woman. She may have been tiny, but don't let that fool you. She was sassy, smart, and definitely had Howard wrapped around her finger. She might have looked sweet, but she wasn't afraid to put him in his place when needed. And then we've got Raj, played by Kunal Nayyar. Raj was the kind of guy who could talk to anyone, except women. Seriously, the dude couldn't get a word out unless he was holding a drink. It was both hilarious and heartbreaking. But man, did he bring the charm. Whether he was vibing with Howard or just trying to navigate the world of romance, Raj was that lovable, awkward friend we all needed on the show. We can't forget Kevin Susman, who played Stuart, the owner of the comic book store where the gang would go to get their comics. And let's be real, it wasn't just the comics that kept them coming back. Stuart was kind of like the unofficial fifth member of the crew, always there, a little awkward, and honestly, the best part of the store. And then we have John Ross Bowie, Sheldon's rival, the guy who knew exactly how to get under Sheldon's skin. Kripke wasn't just annoying, he was masterfully annoying. Up next is another person who tormented Sheldon, Wil Wheaton. Yes, the guy who went from being Sheldon's childhood hero to his arch nemesis. Wil Wheaton, played by himself, was the perfect villain for Sheldon's world. From that infamous rivalry to all the times he made Sheldon's life miserable, Wil Wheaton brought some major drama and laughs to the show. And lastly, we can't forget Leonard's mom, Beverly Hofstadter, played by the one and only Christine Baranski. Now, if you think your mom is a little too emotionally distant, wait till you meet Beverly. She was a brilliant psychiatrist who treated her son like one of her patients. And that's a wrap on today's trip down memory lane with The Big Bang Theory cast then and now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.